Hey everyone, welcome back to Tucson Now. I'm your host, Aaron Gonzalez. We're right here with you at just the top 7:30 right here for this Thursday evening right here. As I did mention earlier, I do have a special guest that is going to join with us via Zoom, and of course a four-legged friend at that too as well. But before we give a big welcome to who we got here on the screen, just a little backstory. Pet Partners of Southern Arizona chapter based here in Tucson. They have 3 local pets, 2 dogs, and 1 cat who are competing in the National Pet of the Year contest. And of course, here to tell us more about this is our very own, put them on the screen right here, and with their lower thirds, Joy and Big Bernie, the Athens Pinscher. Of course, they are Pet Partners of the Year nominee. Joy and Big Bernie, it's so nice to see you guys. And of course, thank you for coming on and telling us a little bit more about what we can expect.
Well, thank you. What a really fun experience. I mean, just being a pet partner is a really fun experience all by itself as I'm trying to get his attention with cheese.
Yes, I can see Big Bernie right there. There he goes, getting a little treat right there.
Yeah.
Joy, I'm curious to learn more about what is the pet partner for those of us that may not know what that is. Can you tell me a little bit more?
Yeah, of course. So Pet Partners' mission is to improve human health, and we do this through the kind of the well-being of the bond between humans and animals. So we have a trained animal here who's completed a year's worth of training, and he gets the privilege of visiting people and patients and and we always say Bernie's here to spread the cheer. So he gets the privilege to try to, bring smiles to those that maybe are in the hospital or a residential treatment center or a school. So that's what pet therapy is all about, is creating that bond.
Yes, without a doubt, creating that bond once indeed. I mean, he's just bringing a smile to my face. I haven't even met him yet in person, but just seeing him right there doing his thing, he looks adorable and comfy. And I think he's asking for another treat right there with that look.
He sure does communicate without communicating. That's the thing about, therapy visits is he says a lot with just his smile, his little cricket smile.
We are here for it and we are enjoying it. I'm curious to ask a little bit more about how you and Bernie came to be, if you mind sharing me about that little backstory.
Oh, sure. Well, we have a close friend who has had a therapy animal, and he was visiting the hospital, and it was just such a wonderful visit. And I just wondered, like, how did that happen? How did this, family pet become a therapy dog? And so when we met Bernie, he's a rescue from Houston. We brought him in to be trained just because he was brand new to the house. And they said, oh my gosh, he should be a therapy animal because he's just so loving and so calm. And, thinking back to my friend who had her dog Riggs as a therapy dog, I thought, well, let's try it. And it just immediately was a click for him. It's really just, you can see he's kind of born for it. So from rescue to riches.
There you go, indeed, from rescue. What was that like for you going to Houston to go get him and of course to bring him back here? Do you mind sharing me a little bit about that, what that was like for you and of course when you first saw him, knowing that, hey, this is going to be the fit that I needed right here?
Oh yeah, that was an adventure. It kind of was our first therapy visit task because I don't really like to fly. And Bernie brought such a sense of playfulness and joy. Joy is contagious. So he brought patience and joy and laughter and comfort to me, even on the flight home from Houston to Tucson. So that was kind of our first mission, actually. And we just really honor rescues. All of our dogs have been rescues and try to just give them the best life. We get a lot in return, and he's given a lot. He's been a therapy dog now for just about a year. We do about 2 to 3 outings a month. We actually just came from one. We were part of Love of Reading Week at a local elementary school. And so, yeah, that was kind of our journey and his 1-year journey so far.
Wonderful. Love to hear it. Can you tell me a little bit more about, I know it's just been a year for you guys, but what's been some of the biggest takeaways that you've gotten from this and maybe some learning curves, if anything, right there?
The biggest takeaway is that we can learn a lot from dogs. That when they teach us how to relax, they can tell us to celebrate the small things. They show us how to interact with people even without words, just to sit with them, just to be present. So those have been the hugest takeaways, is that sometimes people just need a pet to sit with, if they're having, going through a really hard time and they don't have the words to communicate it, but somehow they feel comforted by this little 18-pound boy. I also, one of my most memorable experiences was, going to a local place, Sierra Tucson, and we love visiting there. It's a really special place. And we came in and someone said we waited all day for him. And that was just so very meaningful to us, just to know that they're going through a difficult time, and they knew by the end of their day that they would have a good snuggle with the dog. So that was just really meaningful. And like I said, there's a lot of life lessons from all animals, but especially dogs. So we're just happy to be one small part of somebody's journey.
Yes, I agree with you right there on that. Being a small part in someone's journey, and of course, seeing how you and Bernie right there are just coexisting, as I would say, but also just everything that you've done here for the community, and of course, I think the lives that you touch. I think it's just a beautiful thing. Speaking on your half, what's been probably your most favorite moment so far? I know it's just, again, been a year, but a lot can happen in a year. Any feel-good moments you would like to share?
I would say that one that I just kind of talked about is really meaningful. Just knowing that someone was waiting on you, that it was part of their day, part of their healing. Another is that we had an opportunity to visit somebody who was on hospice, and she knew that we were there, and we brought this book with us, and it just says "She Who Inspires." So we just read a few pages, a few positive quotes, just a few inspirational pages, and I hope she knows we were there with her. And Bernie just sat at the end of her bed and just hopefully brought joy and comfort to her and her family. That's the other thing that really plays a part in dog therapy visits, is maybe it's not just the identified patient, but maybe there's a family member or a friend that really could use the snuggle and use some downtime. It's just such a stress reliever to have a dog. I mean, look, I didn't train him to do this. He's just here. He loves being with people. So it's just really stress relief to anyone who's going through a difficult time, or their family members. So we really appreciate the role of pet partners, that pet partners exist. It's nationwide. And our goal is we don't have to win Pet Partner of the Year. We just want to raise awareness and raise money for this cause.
Yes, couldn't agree with you more on that. And just seeing him, he is just so comfortable, just sitting on that chair. And of course, just like, yeah, I know you guys are talking about me. I got the interview right here. Don't worry, I got it, Mom. But Joy, I would like to ask you, I know when I was reading a little bit about Bernie and of course the breed that he is, I've never really heard of this breed before. Do you mind sharing me a little bit more? Because I was a little caught off guard, but at the same time, like I said, I have dogs at home, but not a certain breed like this. So maybe for someone that's new, like myself, of like, hey, what kind of breed is he, and how has that been for you?
Sure. Well, we also had never heard of an Affen pincher before either. Affen means ape or monkey in German. And so they have kind of, let me see if I can get him a close up. He kind of has a monkey face. So he's an Affen pincher. He's a really old breed. And he's a little bit as close as you can get to hypoallergenic, which is really important when you're doing visits to hospitals or schools or anywhere that someone might, have an allergy to dogs. And this is their full grown size. So we jokingly call him Big Bernie, but you can probably see on camera, he's only 18 pounds, but he's got a big, big heart. And that's how he got his name. But yeah, the Affen pincher is just a really old special breed. And it, again, just kind of matched with our idea of bringing him into the community so that we knew that he would be pretty easy to be around with anyone who might have pet allergies. So yeah, that's the story of the Affen pincher. And I don't know if you can see, here's his little badge behind him. I wanted to just show, you can barely see him. He doesn't photograph well, but Yeah, he's jet black, and we have to groom him often because of this long, beautiful hair. Yeah, all dogs are good dogs, big or small. Rescues are the best, though, in our opinion.
Yes, I agree. All dogs are good dogs, no matter the breed, the size, or the shape, but definitely seeing what you guys are doing here to the community. And of course, I know you guys are vying for, as you mentioned, this title, if you will, but definitely, no matter if you win or lose, at least you guys are still making a difference in the lives that matter. But anything you'd like to share with our Tucson Now audience of like, hey, to go out and vote, but also like, how can they see Bernie, or just anything that people should be aware about that you'd like to send us off here with?
Oh, sure. Just that any dog, if you have a pet, actually it doesn't have to be a dog. If you have, there's a cat actually with Pet Partners too, who's running for Pet of the Year. Any dog can do this, and any dog can go through the training and just be part of Pet Partners. And I think a lot of pets are really undercover pet therapists, because they bring so much comfort and joy. And just to know, some of his favorite things are visits. He definitely likes to go. He knows when he's working, but he loves to stop by and get a pup cup on his way home. So he'll get a pup cup tonight.
Well, hey, I think that is a good treat for him, especially the event that you guys just came back from. Would you mind sharing me a little bit more about that event? I know we kind of got you here after that, but definitely I know you're saying about reading, but maybe for some of us that like, hey, it's not just going just to visit, but also doing little fun, small things like this.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So Pet Partners organizes a lot of really great visits. And like I mentioned, to facilities or patients, but also to schools. And tonight's was at, I hope I'm saying it right, Holloway Elementary School, and it's Love of Reading Week or Month. And tonight was like family literacy night, and they invited us for what's called Read to a Dog Hour. And so students came and read stories to Bernie and practiced reading. And they just did a fantastic job. And it was so cool to see families, teachers, and kids, learning how to read, just taking time with an animal, and not being afraid if they stumble over words, just to keep trying. So that's what tonight's event was. And then we see bigger kids. We also visit University of Arizona. They have an event called Dogs Day with the Dean, and we visit there just for in between classes. You need a study break, you're having a tough day, or you just want to hang out with a dog for a little while. So Pet Partners organizes some hour to 2 hour visits at the University of Arizona. And that's accessible. So if anybody's watching and works at a school, or is associated with the school in some way and wants to have a pet therapy visit, they just contact Pet Partners, and I've never said no. Our team never says no. We find a way. So it can just be for love of reading, or it's just like a special month at school. Even would have been fun to do rodeo, to come with like a little bandana on, maybe, or something that says Pet Partners with a bandana. So yeah, there's lots of opportunities to interact with a therapy dog that are really fun and really meaningful.
Well, hey, that's great to hear, and definitely just a big part that you guys are just playing into these people's lives. And it seems like it's easy peasy to kind of get in contact and, of course, get Big Bernie there for you to come, for him to pay you a visit, I should say, or for any other activities that you guys do right there. Joy, anything else before I let you go right here? Anything that you'd like to share to the community or to people that are just watching this right now? Or maybe if you want to share this later for others that would be like, hey, I'm kind of interested in becoming what you kind of do, but can you tell me a little bit more? But any last closing remarks for our Tucson Now audience?
Just thanks for pausing and shining a spotlight on therapy dogs and the power of, human and animal connections. And we're just really happy to be here. I'm a little bit nervous, as I shared with the team before signing on. He's the star. I'm just his driver. I just get him where he needs to go. So thanks for having us. And we hope that Pet Partners walks into your hearts and your lives sometime in the future.
Yes, ma'am, without a doubt. And by all means, Joy, don't worry about being nervous. I told you it was going to be an easy conversational just to talk. You've crushed it. Definitely Bernie has crushed it right there. There he is, putting him on the camera right there. But once again, a very big thank you to Joy and Big Bernie, the App and Pincher, of course, Pet Partners of the Year nominee. And of course, you guys can vote for them and see who takes the crown for this title coming up here for the next couple of weeks that they got to go to get those votes and get them counted and going for. But once again, a big thank you to Joy and Big Bernie for joining us right here on the Tucson Now via Zoom interview.
Yes, thank you for letting us zoom in from home. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, it's our pleasure. Alrighty, we'll see you guys here next time. Alrighty, guys, we're going to take a quick break right here as we are just wrapping up the 745